Pitch Perfect 3. Have you seen Pitch Perfect 1? Have you seen Pitch Perfect 2? Then you've seen Pitch Perfect 3. It's the same thing, except for this is actually done a little better than the second one. I'll give it that. I love the first one. I thought the first one was real charming. It had a little bit of the zany humor that made it a little funny. And then, but it also was a little more grounded in realism, reality. That's what I'm trying to say.
He choked on it because he doesn't believe in himself.
Grounded in reality, a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but I liked the first one, and then the second one was absolutely garbage. Except there was some funny parts in it that made it a little easier to take down, but it was still a very stupid movie. And then this third one, different director this time. It was Elizabeth. What's her name?
Thanks.
Huh? Banks, yes.
Yeah.
Yay, finally. You got something. You added something.
He remembered something.
Yes, Elizabeth Banks that directed the second one. And she did not direct this one, thank God. But this one was done by a better director. And it seems like they've fully embraced that tone that they set in that second one. Because there's a lot of meta humor in this one where they actually seem to make fun of themselves, which is pretty funny. I actually laughed quite a bit in this one, which made it, like I said, a lot easier to take down. But I mean, this was still the exact same story that the other ones were telling, just in a different way, and it seemed to be like I said, better directed. The songs were still overproduced. I still can't quite buy that all of this is done vocally. It's still just, I mean, I've seen a lot of vocal singers, and it just doesn't seem completely possible, and they overproduce it to hide some of that, which is clear and obvious. But it was just, I mean, it was a fun time in the theater. I laughed a lot. I'll give it that. But John Lithgow played Fat Amy's father, and he had the most ridiculous Australian accent you probably will ever hear in a movie, but he was still pretty funny. So, but like I said, the songs, some of them were enjoyable. There was one band in there that was kind of like a pop country band that I actually kind of liked some of their songs, and Ruby Rose, I think is her name, is in there. She actually was pretty good. I didn't know she can sing, so that was interesting. Hopefully she actually can. That wasn't computer stuff. But she at least faked it pretty well.
If that's the case, allegedly.
Yeah. Yes, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yes, if that's the thank you for keeping this legal. But
don't need Universal kicking the door down. All right, just wrap it up. We done brought it all.
Yes. Slander.
Yes.
So, but yeah, if you liked the first two, I recommend you check this one out. But if you didn't, then don't check this out because it's not. It wouldn't be.
If you didn't like the first two, why are you going to see 3?
Yes.
What made you see 2 if you didn't like 1?
Yeah. So, but the characters are still. Characters were still. I mean, I like the characters more than I thought. Every time I see these movies, I like the characters more and more. And actually, Rebel Wilson's character wasn't quite as unbearable as she was in the second one. And then the two. Well, none of y'all have seen. Well, you've seen the movie. Elizabeth Banks' character and whatever the other guy's name is, they're in this a little less, which makes they're still forced in there because they're just like the color commentators that just follow these vocalists around for some strange reason.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Like
John Michael Higgins, I think is what his name is. John Michael Higgins.
So why are they even in this movie if there's no competition?
Well, now they're like a documentary crew. They're just following them with cameras, but they're not in there quite as much because they were really forced in there that second movie. And I mean, it was already weird that they were in the first movie to begin with. So they really forced them in the second movie, and then they weren't in this quite as much, but they were there for a laugh a couple times.
Okay.
Which was really cool. And then they had a pretty funny part at the end that I liked. But yeah, they weren't quite as bad. Like I said, this was just a better directed one than the second one, because the second one was where it all went downhill. And then they really had to go up. It wasn't really hard to go uphill for this one. So it was a decent movie. Lots of good laughs and the characters are a little better than the second time. So with that, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, that's respectable.
So
That's respectable.
a low C.
Low C. Okay. Okay.
All right.
There?
So yeah, I'm okay. Okay. So with that, we're gonna move on to a movie that I did not see.
Mm-hmm.
You did. So